All right. What are we talking about here? Hamilton and Piccolo.
Man, Hamilton and fucking Piccolo. That was 11 episodes long and good.
So go check that out.
What can I say? It was
So I think what we're going to try to do in this conversation that we're about to have is trick you into being compelled into going into the link that's attached, and then you're gonna pay $2 for an hour-long audio drama that was written by a listener named Evan Bouchard. Is that right?
I think so, yeah.
Written by somebody that wasn't us, so it's good. So we're going to go ahead and, after we get done talking, you'll hear the first episode, and then there are 10 more episodes that follow. In total, it's about an hour long, I think, if you buy it.
Yeah, it's full of surprise guests, and it's twists and turns, and
featuring Kaya.
yeah, that one.
No, so we had quite a few people on there. I don't want to start naming them.
Yeah,
because if I forget somebody, but
yeah, it'd be kind of a shitty thing. But yeah, there's lots of surprise guests and lots of twists and turns and surprises and lots of really great voice acting. Not by this guy, but by everybody else.
So I want to have like a post Hamilton and Piccolo, like an after show.
Yeah,
because you mispronounced one of the key players throughout the whole fucking thing. I mispronounced your name, or everybody else did.
Yeah, everybody. It was all Piccolo, which drives me crazy because Piccolo is way funnier and way better.
So that's what I thought.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, yeah. So again, there should be a link below wherever you're listening to this. You just click that and give us your money, and then you can listen to it.
Yes, it's well worth it.
How did we settle on $2?
I thought we settled on $5, but I don't.
Okay, for $5.
Right? Is it too late? Is it too late to change it now?
Or you can go to our Patreon, and they're all posted there already, so you get all the other bonus shit.
Yeah, for $5.
For $5.
Right. So $5.
Nobody's gonna pay $5 for this piece of shit.
It's totally worth it. It was 11 weeks. 11 weeks of work. Do you know how many weeks that is?
That's almost 2 months.
It's almost 12 weeks.
So I am just happy that I'm happy that it wrapped up.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I don't have to edit it no more.
You don't have to do it anymore.
I like how you talk about how much work you put into this thing.
Do I? I do say that a lot.
And really, I mean, you did twice as much work as everybody else that recorded audio.
How so?
Because you always had to re-record your lines on the shit that you missed.
I knew where you were going somewhere. I just wasn't sure which angle you were going to take. I think there really was at least 3 times that I remember that I had to re-record lines that I missed. Was it more than that?
So fucking pissed off at you.
So you get everything ready. You drop all the files in, and you're like, all right, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to edit this. And you get into it, and you're like, what? Well, that's not right. There's a line missing here. and our schedules are so different that there's like a gap of 14 hours from when you tell me to when I get the message. So I can only imagine how pissed off you were every time.
So the funny part is, like, I wish I would have kept all these, but I was always so pissed off at you that I didn't think about the funny part of it that would come up afterwards. But you always ended up reading somebody else's line as well. It's like, I don't even understand how it worked in your head that you, like, okay, so the first time it looked like you went through and copied all your lines and pasted them into one document. Mm-hmm. And then you just read them like all one sentence.
No space in between. Cut that shit up, bitch.
It's like you were actively trying to make it difficult for me. And then the next time I'm like, hey, can you do me a favor and leave a space between your lines? And you're like, yeah, sure, whatever. And then you just didn't send me all the lines. You had some missing. Then the next
That
week,
was the space.
then the next week you read somebody else's lines. And like, I didn't even tell you about that because I could still put this shit together. Then the week after you forgot your lines and read somebody else's lines.
I'm awesome.
You're a professional.
I'm pretty sure that's how the professionals work, right?
You know, if we get picked up for a Netflix special for this, you're not invited.
Oh, damn it. I've always wanted to be flown out to Hollywood and sit in one of those booths and record my lines. That's what I want.
All right. Well, thank you to Evan for writing this.
Yeah, that was
The
awesome.
way that it started was he just out of the blue, he sent us a script, and we were going to make a cartoon out of it, but that's too expensive, so we just did this. And he kept them coming, and I think it's fair to say he's funnier than us, so our lines are pretty good in there.
You're right. Yeah, he's definitely a better writer than anything we probably could have came up with, you know?
He's a better writer than we are reader.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. Yeah, so click the link, give us money. I don't care if you listen to what you buy, just give us the money.
Thank you. Bye.
Chief Hamilton and Detective Piccolo. The Case of the Genital Carnage. Part 1. November 31st, 20XX, 9 a.m. It was a crisp autumn morning. The sunlight was shining through the cracked window, illuminating the hand of the cold corpse. Police tape surrounds the house. At the scene is Chief of Police Chiefs, Chief Hamilton. He turns around as he hears the screech of a car stopping on the dry dirt. It's a black 1957 Chevy Bel Air. A man steps out of the car and releases a heavy sigh.
You're late, Piccolo. The investigation began at 8:30.
Good morning to you too, Chief.
Piccolo stepped past the tape and around Hamilton to get to the body.
Don't think that you can be all cocky because of your past successes, Detective. You're in my country now, and I'm not going to be disrespected.
Of course not. That's why I wished you a good morning.
The chief scoffed.
So what's the situation?
Murder. It's in line with the others, too. The victim was last seen coming home by a neighbor at around 6 p.m. last night. We got the call at 7:45 this morning when a neighbor reported a scream from the house, followed by silence. When we got here, we found the victim like this.
In line with the others, you say?
Unfortunately.
Mind if I take a look?
The chief signaled toward the body with his hand, offering the detective a look for himself. The detective pulled down the pants of the corpse.
You're right. The penis and testicles have been cut clean off.
This is the 4th incident in the past week, 8th this month.
In just 1 week, the murderer doubled his kill count. Interesting.
He's getting cocky. Thinks he's not going to get caught. We'll find him.
It's exactly why you'll never catch the culprit.
The chief glared at Piccolo.
You've been here for 1 day and you think you got it all figured out, don't you?
Not at all. I just look at things a different way.
And which way would that be, smartass?
The right way.
The room fell quiet for a moment.
You refer to the culprit as a he, but is there anything that points to it being a man behind the murders?
Well, what do you want me to say? It's going to get old saying the culprit every time.
They, them?
Okay, whatever.
The other thing you ignored is why are these murders rising so rapidly? It might not be that they're getting cocky. What if they're running out of time? They need to make their final kills before some time limit. The killings escalated at the end of the month, so it could be that they need to make the kills before December 1st. That's tomorrow.
What makes you think all of this?
Nothing. You just have to look at every possible angle as a detective.
As the sun rose higher, the light in the window changed positions, climbing up the hand of the corpse. The light reflects off of a small locket in the victim's hands. Piccolo puts on his gloves and grabs the locket. He opens it.
The victim. His name is Delvin, yeah?
Yeah?
And the previous victim?
Randy.
And before Randy?
RyanLongComedy.com. Where's this going?
The detective showed the open locket to Hamilton. His heart dropped. Inside the locket was a group photo of 9 individuals. 8 of them had been murdered.
All these people were killed, except for one.
I know the last guy. He's a local. Kaya.
Based on this, we can assume that he is either the killer murdering all his friends or the next victim. Either way, he's connected to this case.
I know where we can find him. He frequents a bar downtown.
There's no time to waste.
We'll take the cop car.
The chief called for the rest of the police crew to handle the crime scene, while Hamilton and Piccolo rushed into the chief's cop car.
Man, the smell in here is giving me a headache.
The chief inhales from his vape and exhales, blowing vapor into the windshield.
It's probably the dog fur.
Aren't police chiefs supposed to smoke cigarettes?
He used his vape again.
I quit.
Did you?
The vape hurt Detective Piccolo's head even more.
You know what? I'll drive.
The pair got out and went into the black 1957 Chevy Bel Air and rushed to the downtown bar. Crime scene left, November 31st, 20XX, 9:45 a.m. 14 hours and 15 minutes until December 1st.